Hey guys, it's Jay. Hope you are having a fantastic Monday. Let's talk about whether you would pay a monthly fee to use Twitter. Now, why do I ask this question? Recently, Medium, which is actually founded by a Twitter co-founder, Ev, which if you're not familiar with Medium, medium.com, it's a public blogging platform, lots of great content there from tons of interesting writers. It's almost like a postmodern digital newspaper with tons and tons of authors about lots of subjects. So Medium has pursued an advertising-based monetization strategy for a long time. It has not worked particularly well, and so they said they're going to now go with a system where they're going to pay, or charge, I should say, charge a monthly fee to use Medium. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that's going to entail, what that's going to require. I suspect they'll have to add something to the Medium experience to make it worth a monthly fee. But I also wonder whether or not one of Twitter's possibilities is to create a monthly fee. As I've talked about here on Jay Today in the past, Twitter's never made money. Twitter's never made money for a year. They've never made money for a month. They've never made money for a day. They've never made money in any period of time ever. And they've tried lots and lots of different ways to do that with different advertising schemes and monetization schemes. It's never worked. So now maybe one of their options would be to charge a monthly fee to access Twitter. I mean, and so would you pay for that? If somebody said, okay, here's the deal, you've got to pay, I don't know, what would be reasonable? $5 a month, $10 a month to use Twitter? Would you do that? Do you like Twitter so much that you would do that? And I wonder, like, how would you do it? Maybe it's not just a fee to use it, because that's pretty tough, because it's going to reduce the usage. Obviously, not everybody's going to pay the fee, and ultimately, sites like that want as many people to use it as possible. So I don't think they would charge just for a subscription. It seems to me like you could charge for three different things. You could maybe charge for speed, right? So you could have a real-time version of Twitter, which would be $10 a month. And if you wanted the, hey, an hour later kind of version, that would be free, right? So instantaneous Twitter would have a price associated with it, but occasional Twitter would not. The other thing they could charge for would be multimedia. So text tweets would be free, but if you want to use photos or videos, there might be a fee associated with that. That could be one way they do it. Or maybe they could charge for links. And I think this one actually has the most opportunity from sort of a business marketing standpoint. So what if Twitter said, look, Twitter continues to be free, but if you want to include a link in your tweet, you have to pay 5 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, maybe a ratio of expenses based on how many followers you have. And so when people are trying to use Twitter as a traffic generator, you have to pay for that. But if you're just using it as a conversation tool, you don't. I'm not sure, and perhaps Twitter's never thought about this. That's actually not possible. There's definitely circumstances by which they have thought this through. But you know, look, even today, it's really difficult for media companies to charge. I mean, there's very few examples of media companies outside of pornography who have successfully charged monthly fees for content, because content is free. So much of content is free. Even the New York Times, which is actually doing really well right now, is not crushing it with paid subscriptions. Whatever local newspaper there is in your city is certainly not crushing it with digital subscriptions. ESPN is not crushing it with digital subscriptions. And so it would be a risky proposition for Twitter, but at some point you got to make money. And I wonder if there would be a way to make that happen. So a lot of you are saying here on the video that you would not pay for Twitter. Some of you would, but a lot of you wouldn't. So maybe the question is this: would you pay for Facebook? Like, what if Facebook said, I don't think they would, because they got plenty of money. They're doing just fine. But what if Facebook said, okay, guys, here's the deal. Starting on Wednesday, on the 1st, you have to pay $9.99 a month to use Facebook. Would you pay for it? I would. I definitely would. I'll bet you many of us would. Of course, we're watching this on Facebook Live, so perhaps that's not a fair comparison. Already, LinkedIn is really pushing the pro subscriptions very, very hard and will continue to do so. LinkedIn is definitely going away from a free model and toward a pay model. Obviously, a different circumstance on LinkedIn than on Facebook or Twitter. But I just wonder if this paid subscription model is going to happen eventually. Give it some thought. Would love to know what you think in the comments below. Would you pay a monthly fee for Twitter, or if you'd like, would you pay a monthly fee for Facebook? This is Jay Today, Season 2, Episode 17. As always, the show is brought to you by my friends at Emma. Get more from your email marketing. Go to myemma.com. If you haven't checked it out, their conference is called Marketing United. It's coming up in April. It's in Nashville. It's really great. MarketingUnited.com. I'll be there, of course. Scott Stratton will be there, and Handley will be there. Tom Webster will be there. Tamsin Webster will be there. A bunch of great people. It's a terrific conference. One of my favorites every year. Check it out. MarketingUnited.com. I will see you probably Thursday.